Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today I'm going to prepare an egg fried rice for you, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it. We've always had many variations of rice. We have the zira rice, rice with fried onions, the savory rice with just mixed vegetables. But for me this is a favorite, especially if it's served with Chinese dishes. But even on its own, it's quite a nice accompaniment if you just want to have an egg fried rice on its own. So what I'm going to do here is I've got some rice that has just been nicely cooked and still steaming hot. I've cooked it. I prefer using basmati rice. I've also cooked it through. It's completely ready cooked, so there's no steaming required. And to this, I'm going to add some vegetables. Again, I'm going to do it in the Chinese tradition of stir frying it. So in order to do that, I'm going to cut them up into little cubes because it's obviously easier to eat that way as well. And I'm going to then add it into my wok and get them sizzling, and then we can start adding the rice and the other ingredients in. Now again, being a Chinese type of dish, I have got soya sauce here, and I've used some seasoning, the famous mustard based seasoning, and a little bit of the normal salt. Okay, so now what I'm going to do here is just dice up the vegetables a bit finely and then add them to the wok. I've already julienned them, so now all I have to do is cube them a little bit, and you'll notice with all the Chinese dishes we try and keep our vegetables crisp. So the idea is actually to cook it on a bit of a high heat. So I'm going to get my griddle going a bit in the meantime, so that when I'm ready I don't want to overcook vegetables. The vegetables are now ready, and I'm going to add these with a little bit of olive oil to my griddle. I'm using a little bit more here because we're still going to have eggs coming in, and then we also need the rice to get the fried taste on it. So to begin with, let's get the veggies in. You know, the amazing thing with rice is its origins go back between 8 to 15,000 years, all the way back to the Pearl Valley in China. And since then, if you look at how rice has evolved, we now also have an African strain which is different, the Asian strain is different, and of course most of the Asian foods, for instance in India, the basmati rice is most popular. It's aromatic, it's a thin fluffy rice compared to the other variations which are much thicker and harder. The harder rices obviously can be cooked forever without you fearing to overcook them. With basmati rice, as much as it might seem difficult, it's not too bad. You could boil it. You can actually cook it right to the point where it is now without really having to steam it. The idea is as you're cooking it, just take it and try it and just make sure that the rice has cooked through completely. But then there's a very short space. Alright, so the rice, you can actually feel that it's been cooked through fully. If it isn't cooked through fully, you're going to find that it's a bit hard in the middle. But once you've cooked it through, then your time span is very short after that, and you need to then remove it from the heat. And if you're boiling it, remove it from the boiling water and let it remove the boiling water so that it can cool down. And if you want to remove the starch, then obviously you can put it into cold water and wash the starch out. as I have it here, the rice has been fully cooked for us, and now I'm going to prepare my eggs. I'm going to prepare the eggs. For this amount of rice, I'll probably use about 2 eggs. Just going to whisk them up nicely. You will notice this is a very quick dish to prepare. My veggies are almost ready, and we're going to move on to the next step. Now here's where you need to be a bit quick about it, because we want the egg not to form completely. My egg is ready. I'm now going to add in a little bit of salt, just a dash there, a pinch. But I'm adding a little bit more of our famous spice here, and I'm mixing it in. Now this actually is going to enhance the color. You'll notice my veggies are done. They're actually beginning to burn now. So we need to get on quickly and add the egg. I don't want the egg to form completely. So while that's happening, I'm just going to spread it around. And while it's a bit wet, I'm going to add my rice in. Now the idea is to have the egg almost browned at the bottom, and while it is still wet on the top, as you cook it, you're going to get the flakes of egg inside. The color, the yellow color from the seasoning is actually also changing the color of the rice. You could actually add peas as well to your rice if you like. And if you like any other particular vegetables, there's nothing wrong in adding them in. It's just that these are my favorites. Now what we need to do as well is to give it the fried rice effect. So you can hear the rice actually sizzling at the bottom there. I'm just tossing it so that the color is even right through, and the seasoning has also gone right through. And while that's happening, again, try and use the light soya sauce. I'm not using too much of it, as it's going to change the color entirely. But I'm just adding it direct to the pan, so that the sauce has also now cooked. And now I'm going to spread it into my rice. You'll notice the color there. You need to stir it around until you get the desired color. If you're just serving it like this, that's fine. You could also go another step further and add green chilies to it if you wanted it strong. And then it's so versatile. If you really wanted to move a step further from here, you could turn this into a prawn fried rice. All you need to do then is to, when I did the vegetables, you could put your prawns in then, prawn meat, and also give it a bit of a sizzle, and then add in your rice. So you could make egg fried rice, prawn fried rice, veg fried rice. If you, of course, if some people don't like the egg, you could omit the egg completely and you could have a veg fried rice. I'm going to show you how you could serve it, a nice serving, especially if you're portioning it, then you could serve it this way, or you could serve it in a nice platter. So what you need to do is, if you are going to use a bowl to give you a nice look, I'm going to use a bowl. I've already lined this with a bit of spray and cook so that the rice will be free to come out. And I'm going to fill this up. So you've got a nice spread of all your ingredients, your egg, your vegetable, and you can notice it's still fairly dry. The oil has all been absorbed by the rice. I just need to take this to a point where it's a bit higher than the actual bowl so that I can then press it down and compact it a bit. And there we are. We're ready to serve egg fried rice at Papa D's. Jazakallah khair. I hope you try this and enjoy this. We'll show you how it looks once it's been plated, but I'm sure it's a dish even the children would love. So from me, Papa D in Fordsburg, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.